Welcome to bonus mini course number 2, which is about how to interview like a boss. So, in this course or mini course, I'm going to be going through each of the key tactics to make sure that before and after and during the interview, you impress your future employers so that you get the job every single time and so that you can really get the highest paying job every single time. So, tactic number 1 is that before the interview happens, you have to prepare. This means to go over the common questions your employers will ask, as well as going over the key questions to ask your potential employers. Tactic number 2 is to ace your initial impression. Now, everyone knows this, but for due diligence, I have to put this in here just to make sure that you arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. People truly do recognize and notice this. Bring extra resumes to hand out and dress professionally. Tactic number 3 is to really rock your personality. What do I mean by that? I mean, smile, be likable, talk professionally and appropriately, be confident, and make eye contact throughout the room. It's funny how people don't quite understand how big of a difference this makes. But when you're hiring people, hiring managers really look for someone that can blend with their current team, that can get along with them. So if you're someone that has a really great personality, even if your resume may not be as great, your personality may get you the job. Having the right personality, like I said, even if you don't have the right qualifications, can often get you the job. So really try to be the best you possible. Now, here are some key questions to ensure that you are prepared ahead of time for the interviews. So we're going to go over what questions to ask to ensure that the position is the right fit for you, as well as what questions your employers will ask and how to answer them with perfection. So key questions to ask during the interview. You want to ask the following: typical patient population, what's the productivity, what's the daily schedule, are there weekend work, what are the hours, what duties are typically required, is there any mentorship, orientation, or learning opportunities, is there room for upward mobility, and then any other specific questions you have. Now, this list is obviously not all inclusive because you may have some more questions, and there may be more questions that are specific to the application and the job you are currently vying for. But these are some good starting questions to make sure that you ask during the interview to know that you are interested in the position and that you are interested in improving your career. Hiring managers want someone who is looking for more opportunities to grow and to help out. And so that's really, really important to ask about learning opportunities and mentorship and orientation because that shows you're driven. Now, how do you know if you have the right fit? Because I think this is important as well, not just asking the questions, but also understanding what those answers mean. Well, here's some things to look for. Is this your ideal patient population? Is the facility that you're interviewing, do they have the patient population that you really like to treat? So, for example, if you like to treat sports clients, is this a sports population or is it a geriatric population? That may not be the right fit for you. Is there reasonable productivity? A lot of people, especially new graduates, don't think to ask about productivity, but it is your right to know if there is reasonable or not reasonable productivity, and that can really steer you away from the good jobs and the bad jobs. Your ideal schedule. A make or break for certain opportunities is sometimes this perfect schedule. Is it 4/10s? Is it 8-hour shifts? Is it Tuesday through Saturday? These various schedules. It's so important to know that when you're trying to choose the right job for you. And then in terms of opportunities to grow, learn, or upward movement, this could be a variety of different things. So don't get hung up if they don't have a structured program. You can ask maybe if they'll allow you to do different roles, like be a supervisor or an educator. Are there classes that they have every so often that they host or that they compensate you for going to? Or is it simply that you're able to get a chance to work with different types of patients or different therapists so that you can see how they treat and model after them? Learning opportunities and growth opportunities don't just have to be one way. You can structure them in a variety of different ways and be creative in any job opportunity. Now, here's what are some key questions that employers will ask you. They're going to ask you, what are your strengths and weaknesses? What are your goals? And that could be 1-year goals, 5-year goals, 10-year goals. They want to have you give them specific examples of how you deal with conflicts. They're also going to ask you what populations you have or are currently working with. They want to ask you what your productivity is. They'll ask you what EM&R systems often you have used, and then also why you want to work here. These are the main questions you'll get asked, and in every single interview, I've been asked almost all of these. And it astounds me that even when I do the hiring, somehow people are not able to come up with these answers. And it's so important that you actually come prepared with these answers and that you structure those answers around what's best about you. All of these answers, even the weaknesses, try to spin it and highlight why you are amazing and perfect for the job that you are currently interviewing for. It's not only about the answers, like I said, but it's also about what the answers say about you. For example, for weaknesses, you could say, well, I really like to spend too much time with my patients and I care a lot about them, and that can sometimes make it tricky to be as productive as I want to. That's a good and a bad weakness to have. Yes, it maybe affects your productivity, but you are showing that you have outstanding customer service, which is ideal for any healthcare professional. So you can see how you can structure your answers to be a truthful answer, but also to highlight what is amazing about you. So your answers should convey the following: your skills, your passion and desire to help people, your hard work and teamwork, your desire to learn, your flexibility, and ultimately that you truly want to work there. Now, I've been in a couple interviews where just right from the bat, I'm like, oh, I don't think this is the right fit for myself. What I want you to do is still in that situation, act like you want the job. Always act like you want the job. And then when you're home, when you're by yourself, then start to analyze if the position is right for you. Because sometimes it may take a while for the facts to line up and for you to really discover that that is a great position and that you have to look beyond the cover of what maybe the facility looks like or of various factors. So always act like you want the job and then analyze afterwards. That's it for this course on how to interview like a boss. In the next course, we're going to be talking about negotiating your way to 100K. So I'll see you there.